Well, hello, Dirtfish Rally friends. Goodness me, Rally Italia Sardegna is once again in the bag. But it may have been a shortened itinerary, but it certainly wasn't short on action and drama. We're going to come to all of that. But first of all, I'd like to introduce you to one of our friends, been a good friend of Dirtfish for many, many years, Gianluca Nataloni. Gianluca is one of Italy's preeminent rallying journalists. Gianluca, it's great to have you with us this weekend. It's a special place, this, for Rallying Sardinia, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. 21 years from the first edition. See, it feels like yesterday. The event has grown in popularity, has spread over the island on both sides, switching between Alghero and Olbia, both offering very nice places to stay, and the same competitive stages. They've now become a landmark.
Very, very much so. It really has cemented its position within the World Rally Championship, Rally Italia Sardegna. And that is because it always delivers drama. It has some of the toughest stages in the world, and it has some of the best competition in the world. Yes, as I mentioned earlier on, a sprint format here this week. Kicked off Friday afternoon. We had an enormous day on Saturday, and it went right down to the wire today. If you don't already know, we have just witnessed the closest finish in the history of the World Rally Championship. All right, I'll qualify that. The joint closest finish in the history of the World Rally Championship. Cast your minds back to 2011, Rally Jordan, that final stage battle between Sebastian Ogier and Jari-Matti Latvala. What was the difference? 0.2 of a second. Who were the protagonists here this weekend? Well, once again, it was Seb Ogier, and this time it was Oyt Tanak. Down to the final stage, 0.2 of a second in Tanak's favour. Would you believe that Ogier lost the battle for the win here on that final stage again? We've seen that a few times in the past. That final power stage down by the beach caused all the drama. A puncture for Sebastian Ogier, but you know, that doesn't tell half the story, Gianluca, because it was a great battle between those two all weekend. You know, Tanak was supreme. He stuck at it all weekend, and he put in, well, a rally-winning performance.
Absolutely, absolutely. And most important, he always believed in it. He kept believing it even when he was somewhere around 18 seconds.
Yeah, he was. This morning, 17 seconds behind this morning with 39 kilometres to go.
Yeah, which was a margin by which Ogier would more often than not have been quite comfortable at managing. And keeping your foot down to the end. Obviously, we know that today's stages, I think, were a little different in characteristics from the previous 2 days. So maybe a little tweak in suspension or whatever, dealt the cards in Oyt's favour.
You know what? Take a look back at some of the timesheets, and you know, what will history say? History will say that Ogier did lose it in that final stage. He didn't. He lost it in the opening 2 stages this morning. 11 seconds. Oyt Tanak was quicker than Ogier through the opening 2 stages this morning, and that is what gave him the opportunity. With 2 to go, 6.5 seconds was the gap. It kept the pressure on. As I say, it did come down to a puncture, but Tanak, for me, Gianluca, he's now equal on points with Elfyn Evans. He's 18 points behind our championship leader, Thierry Neuville. But crucially, he's building momentum. A tough start to the year. He battled, he stuck at it. He's building momentum. He's looking good, Oyt Tanak.
Absolutely, yes. He's done a great performance here, and what's more, I think he's showed that with the team behind him, and let's not forget Thierry was doing it very well at the beginning, so he caught up on that lead or that momentum for the team. It's worth shall we say, the tactics of Hyundai to have several top drivers, something that had been looked with certain suspicion, shall we say, at the beginning of the year.
That's reasonable, yeah.
It's proven worthy.
It really has, and that is why Hyundai are very much in the ascendancy now in terms of this championship race, both for the drivers and more critically for Hyundai, for the manufacturer's title. They really are looking very, very strong.
Yes, of course, it's a bunch of emotions, especially from the moment when you don't really expect it, and a bit of good statistics as well, and definitely made the guys happy, but yeah, from the other side, for sure, it's really cruel way, how it's been taken from Seb. I can only say that I've been there before, and I've had 40 seconds in hand and still been taken. So yeah, it's rough, but today, of course, I'm happy. I'm happy for the guys, and yeah, they can celebrate.
Just a couple of hours before you crossed the finishing line there, we talked to you at the regroup, and you said it doesn't matter. Wins don't matter anymore. But we could see from the emotion at the end when you won it, it still does matter. It still means a lot, doesn't it, to win events?
Yeah, it doesn't give anything for us, just a good name on the board. But of course, it's a great emotion, and I must say, I was probably more emotional than I normally am by winning a rally. As like I said, I was not expecting it at all. I was just focusing on Sunday points and yeah, just bringing as many points as possible.
Toyota looked to be in a little bit of bother. Almost said disarray there. I wouldn't quite go as far as that, but it's not a crisis, but they're certainly not comfortable right now, Toyota.
Well, for sure they had been on a better run of form previously. The small growths in the machine, shall we say, coming up every now and then are not there to help neither the team's morale nor the drivers. It's something that in my opinion is not major, but at the level of competition where this championship is, and especially maybe here with a slightly reduced mileage, it's made quite more of a difference than we possibly would have noticed in the previous years with longer events.
I think they're absolutely right. It's not a crisis because the car is still good. We know the car is still good. The car is still a winning car. There's just something not quite right there, whether it's strategy, tactics, whether it's driver rotation, I don't know. Something is not quite right at Toyota, and they're going to have to change that rapidly.
If you beat him by 1/10 of a second or a minute, it doesn't change anything. But at the end of the day, yeah, you're just the first loser, and that's what matters. Yeah, sometimes happen, like we say, in motorsports, and at the end, I think I can still be happy with the weekend I've done in the car, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't go your way, and then that moment, the second puncture in the weekend, of course, was the one too much.
What about our other Hyundai drivers, though, Gianluca? Let's talk about Thierry Neuville. He still leads the championship. It's a reduced lead. He's made the most of this new point system. He scored 12 points today. He has salvaged those 12 points from a really difficult situation.
Yes, but you can always count on Thierry to never give up. Yeah. We've seen it over the years. We've seen it many times this year. And with this new point system, it's certainly helping him out. A small mistake the other day, but he still comes back with a good tally of points. He's still far away in front. And with now Oit, his teammate, challenging his championship rival, Elfyn Evans.
And Dani Sordo. Well, I have to say, Dani Sordo again, he's the master. He is the master at delivering when the team requires it. It's another podium for Sordo. His podium ratio is incredible.
Absolutely. Dani did well in Portugal, but before that, had he been away 6 months from the car?
6 or 8 months, yeah.
And as we were saying before, at the level of competitiveness and at the amount of drivers that are in this championship, to be at that level, to be on the podium and delivering those stage times against people who are in the car more often than not, says something about A, the experience, B, the level of dedication of somebody who doesn't know effectively when his next drive is going to come.
Interesting stuff from Dani Sordo as well after the final stop line. This is what he said to us. Is this it? Is this your last round in the World Rally Championship?
I don't know.
Well, you say you don't know. Have they booked you for any more this year? Or do you think, is this it? Are there plans?
They have 2 rallies this year, but let's see. We need to see with Cyril what's next, or what we'll do next, or if it's my last rally, we need to do like properly different, not a little bit, no? Not like this, bam. I don't know, for sure. I don't know this year, but if I want to decide to like stop or something for all the time, it will be nice to have like a special thing, no? After 20 years. If I need to do more, I will do. But it's like I will be happy to do. If I don't do, I will be happy also. The only what I want is to have the best for my team and to make points and to help everybody to be the champion this year.
Oh my goodness me, let's hope that this isn't the last time we see Danny Sordo. Fingers crossed that we see him later in the year. He still has a job to do for Hyundai, that's for sure. Oh, Gianluca, a really tough weekend again for Evans. You know, the only driver he was consistently quicker than was Gregoire Munster, our rookie driver. Not the weekend he wanted, but again, you look at the points, not a disaster for him. He's scoring points when he's lacking in confidence, and you know, right now that's all he can do.
Yeah, but he's doing it in a very nice way. I mean, if you look at the situation whereby, as you said, you know, there's always something. That little I spoke, I think earlier about a ghost of the machine. There's always something coming up, and it always seems to fall on him. It does, unfortunately. But he still, you know, keeps his chin up. He still tries to make the best of what he's got. Little tweaks here and there on the car, and still with very precious points, important championship points. We're only mid-season.
Not even there. 6 out of, we've got 7 more to go, so we're not quite even halfway yet. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Elfyn Evans really does have to find some form. He does have to find some confidence, but we have 3 fast gravel rallies coming up. That is Evans' opportunity, and he has to seize it. He has to absolutely be on form when we go to Poland and Latvia and Finland. Takamoto Katsuta, what can we say? Reasonably quick at times, lacked confidence at other times, was really unlucky, I suppose, with the problems that he had on Saturday. But Taka-san seems to bounce back more quickly now from adversity than maybe we've seen in the past, Gianluca.
Absolutely. I think that Taka possibly prefers faster events, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Sardinia is not everybody's cup of tea. It offers mixed surfaces, it offers nice mix between fast and twisty. It's just getting up and how can I say, adapting to ever-changing rhythm in the stages that seem to, where some drivers seem to struggle more than others.
Yeah, you're right, and he does struggle there. If it's consistent and he can find that confidence early, he's really competitive, and that's where his chance comes, I think, on the fast gravel. Let's move on then to M Sports. Adrien Fourmeau is in a really strong position in the championship before this event, full of confidence, really good vein of form for Fourmeau. It's good to see him because he had a tough time, didn't he, when he was in a Rally 1 car last time, and it's good to see him bouncing back and coming back and showing us what he's capable of. Wasn't a great event here for him, but that wasn't really his fault. But in general, Gianluca, he's looking good this year, young Fourmeau.
He did a very good start to the season, and I think he's building onto that. He has shown he has the pace, he's shown he can deliver podiums, he's increasing with confidence, and he's showing the team that he can be at ease in the car. So I think there's more to come from Adrien before, and possibly quite quickly.
His teammate, Gregoire Munster, good weekend for Munster, solid weekend. He finished 5th overall. That is his best ever finish in the World Rally Championship. And of course, many congratulations to Sami Päivärinta. He took the win in WRC 2. Johan Roussel was also very impressive in that category this weekend. Your takeaway thoughts from this event? What are your takeaway thoughts? Because we're hearing rumours about maybe the event. We've heard these rumours for many years, going back to the mainland. If this is to be the final Rally Italia Sardegna, what will be your abiding memory of this event?
Well, I think the most important thing is that once again the organisers have shown that they're not afraid to take on a challenge. This new format was something that everybody's been discussing. The organisers can be proud of what they've achieved. The rally has come of age nicely. We said it before, 21 editions, and everyone's been a little better than the other.
I can't really add to that. He's absolutely right. It has been a wonderful Rally Italia Sardegna, a new format, a new itinerary, a different effort this year, and it really has delivered. We have once again really enjoyed our trip to the island of Sardinia. It's given us so much drama, so much excitement, the closest ever finish in the World Rally Championship. Folks, thanks for joining us this weekend. We've had a lot of fun, as we always do, in Sardinia. Gianluca, thank you very much for your time and your wisdom today. It's much appreciated.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Colin.
Folks, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again in 3 weeks' time.